Let me just wait to see who's on this morning. I know it's very early. I know it's early. Just gonna do what I need to do now, because I wanna take some time to relax. Today's been a hectic week. Today's the start of a new week, and it's important how we start our week. Hello, people. How are you doing? How are you doing? I am in a very thoughtful mood today, and I've been in a thoughtful mood for a while. And let's just say that I'm a thoughtful person by nature, but sometimes you have to really reflect. It's important that you reflect on life and what is happening, on your situations. This morning I just want to encourage someone. I don't know who it is that I need to encourage, but I just want to encourage someone. I don't know what you are going through. I don't know your situation. I don't know the extent to what is going on. Lancelot, Olivier, I am fine, thanks. I feel a little tired, but I'm fine. I'm fine. I have life, so I'm grateful for that. So I don't know who and what and who this message is for, but this morning I just want to let you know that there is hope. No matter what you're going through, there is hope. That's a simple phrase, but this morning I saw that phrase on my timeline, and it really just reaffirmed my belief that no matter what you are going through, there is hope. And I reflected on where I am now and where I've been. I've been through hell and back, and I'm sure there are others on my timeline who have been there. And I'm looking back, and I may not know your situation, but I know that I've been in hopeless places, and so I know that there is hope. There is hope. And sometimes the trial and the situations that you find yourself in are not your enemy. These things are not there to destroy you, but to build you and to make you stronger and to set you up for the next level. But there is a serious issue that we often face, and that is to learn to appreciate and love ourselves. And I think this is one of the most common source of our distress. It's looking outside of ourselves for solutions, for love, for affection, and for meaning, and for a feeling of self-worth. So we look everywhere else except within ourselves. And this morning I just want to encourage somebody that if you're going through something, you gotta search within yourself. You gotta find a way to let go of what you are struggling with and look within yourself for the answers that you need. Ain't nothing outside of ourselves is gonna make us happy if we cannot learn to love ourselves, look inside, reflect, and you know what? One of the things I realize is that we will keep making the same mistakes over and over again until we learn we will keep making the same mistakes over and over again until we learn to look inside for whatever it is that we need. And the thing that helped me to look inside was reading the Bible. I had to read the Bible, and I had to realize one thing, that I was beautifully and wonderfully made, and that despite what was going on around me, and this is a sensitive topic for me, so never mind the emotion you hear, but despite what is going on around us, that we are beautifully and wonderfully made, and we are worthy. We are all here and we have a purpose. We are worthy. We are loved. We are appreciated by the one who made us. And when we realize that truth, the truth shall set us free. But sometimes we don't want to put in the work. We do not want to spend time and do the reading and search for the truth. We prefer to we allow ourselves, we lose our power, and we allow ourselves to be ruled by our frustrations, our lust, our sense of our lack of self-worth. We allow ourselves to be ruled by that, and so we don't look for the truth. The only place that you can find the truth is in the Bible. When you realize this truth, that we were fearfully and wonderfully made, and that we are loved by our Creator, so many things will become easier for us. You know, I've been through some stuff, and not many of us are fortunate. Well, not every one of us are fortunate to grow up in a home that is filled with love, filled with appreciation, because unfortunately our parents never knew that either. And so the cycle continues. The cycle of lack of love and affection continues. And so sometimes you're reared in a home where you don't really feel that love and emotion and affection, and so you grow up and you keep searching for it. You keep searching for it, and this is where we become victims of abuse, and we become slaves to other people, because we lack that self-love growing up, and so we think that by looking for it in others that will solve the problem. And we try to control other people. We try to tell them, how they should behave towards us. And we don't see it as controlling. We don't see it as trying to control. But it is in a sense. The thing is, we are meaning well when we talk to people about how they're treating us. We're meaning well, we're giving, and so we expect in return. But we don't know the limit. We give to the point where we are disrespected, and we are disregarded, and we are discarded. And we don't know the limit, because we don't have that sense of self-worth and self-respect to know when to walk away when things are not going the way they are. But if this situation keeps popping up in your life, where you're finding yourself constantly in situations, and maybe it's work, maybe it's relationship, intimate relationships, or even social relationships where we are not appreciated, and we keep trying to beg and to plead with others to treat us how we think we deserve to be treated. But the day you wake up and you really find yourself and know the truth that you are worthy of the love that so deserve, and that you are beautiful, you're handsome, and that you are unique and you deserve love and appreciation, that is what is gonna liberate you. It took me so many mistakes to realize this. And until I learned that lesson, I allowed myself to be treated any old how, and I didn't have the strength to let go. So this morning I'm letting you know that there is hope, but you can't control people, and you can't control how they treat you. You can control how you allow yourself to be treated. That's the thing. You can't control how you allowed yourself to be treated. But first you have to love yourself enough to set boundaries, that when you meet people, that you do not just rush into people because of the sake of having someone in your life, but you allow people into your life based on merit. So you give that for a first level of trust, that you allow yourself to have conversations with them. But as you get to know this person, you allow them into your life based on merit, based on how they treat you, based on your compatibility, based on your goals, based on your dreams, and based on how much this person allows themselves to be vulnerable with you. Because sometimes we tell ourselves we are in love with people and we don't know them. We haven't taken the time to ask them questions, and we just look at love, this lust thing, from a physical perspective. It's all about chemistry, and not so much about what the person is. But we have to, when we, you see, we will never understand the steps to getting to know someone unless we take those steps to get to know ourselves on a deep level. So if we avoid getting to know ourselves, there will be a problem getting to know others. Sometimes I remember there was a time when I couldn't even put like what exactly I wanted in someone into words. I didn't even know what I wanted, and then I find myself with people who, just saw my vulnerability, saw my lack of self-love, and took advantage of that. And I allowed it because I thought that is all that I deserved. I thought that is all that I deserved. And when it got to a point that I didn't realize that this is not it, it was difficult letting go and extricating myself from those situations. So my thing is that you never allow yourself to get that far into something. You must find the time to get to know yourself, get to love yourself, get to decide on your life's goals, and then you allow people into your life and put them in categories based on where they fit in, and not just about emotions and love. I've heard this term that love is intentional, and I agree. You cannot, sometimes your first level of attraction, you may not be able to help that at first, but you can decide who you love. So if you're seeing that somebody is treating you in a way that does not correspond with how you feel and how you want to be treated, you can put an end to it. You can choose how you want to be loved, and you can choose who you love. it's about time that we stop thinking that love is helpless. It's not helpless. It's not a helpless thing. It's intentional. You may feel attraction for someone, but whether or not you love that person should be based on how that person treats you and how that person fit in with your goals in life. And so, I'm thinking on it, and I'm like, I wish I knew all of this. It would have saved me so much heartbreak and so much pain. But then again, sometimes you have to go through the test and you have to go through the storm. And as you go through the storm, don't sometimes it's about letting go of that resistance, that anxiety of thinking about how is my future going to be without this person or without this situation or what is happening even now with this virus taking that is happening. There's a lot of anxiety, but this is time that you just reflect and take one day at a time. Now is not the time to feel hopeless, because the thing that I've realized is that you're just as this whole coronavirus came on the scene in the twinkling of an eye without you even realizing, and it changed everything. Your life can work in a positive way too. Things can change for you, but you have to have the stamina, you have to have the wisdom, and you have to have the faith in order to push through life. I didn't get here by luck. I didn't get here by chance. I got here by a lot of praying. A lot of praying and also support from people, my sisters, my family, my friends, and even people whom I don't know. I didn't get here by chance. There are times when my heart would have been broken and I would have had to reach out to help, for someone to help, because the thing is, some people, they have their heartbreak and they keep it personally and they keep it all inside and they don't want to share it. But I don't promise anyone that I'm not gonna go crazy because of heartbreak. I'm not gonna go crazy. So you have to learn when to seek help. Whatever you're going through, you have to learn when to seek help. So I didn't get here because I am strong, because I am a one, like I am a one woman person. I got here because I realized that the power of having people, so reaching out to others, is something that you need to consider if you are going through something. You might say, yes, if I reach out to someone, they're going to tell my whole life story. But here what? So what? Let them go ahead. If you trust them enough to tell them your situation and they want to go and talk it out, you might feel bad, but why? You going to kill yourself? Mm-mm. You got to learn to reach out. Reach out and seek help when you need help. Because it helps to reach out in terms of getting rid of that stress and just getting things off your chest. So I had to do a lot of reaching out in my time. I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, I went through hell, honestly speaking. I went through so much hell. I was working, but I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself, and I kept looking for love in all the wrong places. Getting into relationships, not getting to know the person, and thinking that they controlled it all, and whatever they gave me is what I deserve. So I didn't know how to ask for what I wanted, and I didn't know how to get what I wanted without having to force anyone to give it to me. And so I went through a lot of hell during that period, and I thank God for those my friends and those who were there for me. I didn't hide my situation. I reached out to people that cared about me, and they helped me bear my burden through that period. It took me 2 years to get over that situation, 2 solid years. But you know what? Thank God for the Psalms in the Bible. I read those Psalms many nights. I cried and I read those Psalms. I had my daughter, young at the time, suffering, from a broken heart. But today I stand here and I say thank God, because all of that I've experienced has brought me to where I am today. And it's in spite of the pain of what I went through. I would go back and I'd probably make the same mistake again because of where I am today. And I have to give God thanks for that. So I want to tell you that you may not see a silver lining right now, because I didn't see a silver lining back then. My heart was broken. I had a young daughter to take care of all by myself. And, my babysitter and whoever else was helping out. And the good thing is that a lot of people loved my daughter. My daughter was loved by a whole neighborhood. A whole neighborhood helped me with my daughter. God is so good. A whole neighborhood helped me with my daughter when I was going through hell. I had people at work, my colleagues, babysitter, mother, and the whole block helping me with my daughter. So I didn't raise her alone in those first 2 years and some before I left St. Vincent. I didn't raise her alone, because there were others. God sent people in my life to help me with my daughter, including her grandmother, of course, who fitted in, her grandmother on her father's side, who fitted into that situation. So I just want to let you know that sometimes we are to, the Bible says it, that we should bear one another's burden. And I know God knew that we will experience situations where we need help, because sometimes we like to think that we are alone and we are separate, but we're not separate. Every one of us on this planet is interconnected. And so our actions, whether they are positive or negative, affect each other. And it causes a ripple effect. And that's why I'm doing this video, because I'm sharing my experiences and my thoughts, because I realize that there is somebody out there that who could learn and who could find some hope from my situation. It doesn't matter if my situation is not the same as yours. What matters is the fact that I saw my future being a hopeless one. And so at that time, it caused me a lot of distress, because I thought that was it. But I'm telling you that that's not it, that there is hope. Sometimes we give up too early and we destroy ourselves. We drink, we abuse ourselves, we allow others to abuse us, and we destroy ourselves. Some people commit suicide, some people commit homicide, they kill others and they kill themselves. But I'm saying there's no situation that you are facing right now that is incurable. There is hope. Don't give up. Sometimes the minute you give up, the time when you think it's your breaking time is the time that you should push harder and find that last ounce of strength to hold on. I've been there many times, so I know. And it took me a long time to learn the lessons, but I learned them and I'm still learning. But out of all of this, I just I wanna push the whole thing of hope, faith, and love, and never let your situation change you. I am here picking my face, sorry. Never let your situation change you. even while I was going through all of this, there was a tendency for me to be bitter and heartless. But I'm telling you that being bitter and heartless and unforgiving does not help you heal. So if you are hoping to heal in a healthy way, you must be able to let go of the bitterness. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be talking to everybody, and sometimes you let go for different reasons. It's not about the person. It's so sometimes when we don't keep communication with people, it's not about the person. It's about you and where you're at. And for me, I don't hold any hate or grudge in my life for anyone. And the things that I've been through cannot change who I am at the core. Why? Because my healing has been healthy. Now, for your healing to be healthy, you can't close your heart. It might sound confusing, but even though your heart is broken, you cannot close your heart. Because when you close off your heart and you tell yourself that, okay, I don't want to feel any emotions, you're actually doing worse for yourself. So you cannot close off your heart. You have to keep your heart open, but guard your heart. And when you say guard your heart, the Bible says guard your heart, because everything everything in you flows from your heart. So you have to guard it. It means that you have to guard your thoughts and also guard who you allow and what you allow and how you allow yourself to think. That's how I see it, right? So you don't allow any and anyone in, but you do not close your heart to feeling loved, to giving, to caring, to forgiving, and to being who you really want to be. If you want to smile and you want to say hi and you want to have a conversation, don't let the fear of, okay, maybe if I talk to this person, I might have feelings for them, and that's dangerous. No, don't do that. One of the things we need to do is stop thinking of every encounter, okay, as a whole relationship, so that you don't start getting all in your feelings as you meet somebody. And this is something you have to learn to do. You don't get all in your feelings. You have meaningful relationship with you without getting all in your feelings, and you learn to slow down. Not because you are single, and some of us, we can't stand being single, but I'm telling you that if you are single right now and you can't stand being single, you will not have a relationship. You're not gonna have a good healthy relationship if you cannot stand being single. You have to reach to the point where you're comfortable in your own skin and comfortable in being single and being single. And for me, I had to realize, okay, being single doesn't mean that you are lonely. It doesn't mean that you're sad. Being single is healthy for those of us who grew up in households where we never received the love that we had. Being single is a moment for us to get to know ourselves and get to heal from all of that 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 pain that we had. And sorry for the emotion, but I'm just I'm just, feeling it all now, because I didn't realize how this was affecting me. Being single is looking back, trying to look back and heal from what is it that happened in your past, because the things that happened in your past, they will grow with you unless you learn to face them and to heal from them. And so I had to take that time to, to get to know myself, get to love myself in a healthy way, and then get to understand what a relationship really really means before I can allow somebody back into my life. and I'm in the new stages of this, and I'm not, exposing what I have, in terms of getting to know someone, but I'm saying that I am at that point where I've passed the state, because what used to happen to me is that anytime I met someone, I used to get so quickly into my emotions, and always wanting to get in, involved. And as especially, and yeah, this happens to men and it happens to women, because, and we mean well when we are trying to get involved, but but because it's happening so quickly, it's not healthy for us. It's not healthy for us. By pushing it like that, it makes up it actually destroys us, because when all of this happens so quickly, is that we don't take time to know the person who we are getting involved with, because we are so wanting to share and to give love, but you know what, we're not giving it to ourselves. We're not giving it to ourselves, and that is where we should be so wanting to give that love to ourselves first. And then when we meet someone and we're trying to, we're thinking, then we will understand to take time with that person, and get to know them. I never knew how to have a real conversation with a man. I could have, and some people might think this is shocking because I have conversations with everybody else, but when it comes to somebody who I wanted to have something with, I never knew how to have a conversation with them. And I never talked about the things that were deep inside of me, because I didn't know how to. And so I never asked questions. And that is where the mistake is, because in the beginning, when you're getting to know people, you have to ask questions, and these questions will either push the person away from you, or it will bring them closer to you. And I had to learn to ask questions. What kind of questions? Ask questions about their childhood. Ask questions about, take the thing to a deeper level. Not just what where do you work, and what kind of work you do, but asking questions about, tell me something that means something to you, like what are your hobbies, and what do you think about life. Try to get their whole thoughts, and how do you see yourself 3, 4, 5 years from now. What are your dreams? So you take the conversation to another level and let that friendship build. Instead, I didn't know how to do that. And when I had feelings, and the other person did not know what, of course the other person is not going to know what's inside of me, because I'm not telling them anything. So when I had feelings, and I got fearful, and I just ran away. I i ran away. I got mad and I run away. And one time recently, I caught myself doing that, like maybe 5 months ago. I caught myself doing that, having a conversation, not knowing how to have a conversation, felt frustrated, and I just up and I got angry, and I just run away. And then I said to myself, Ophelia, you're acting the same old way again. You have to relax, call that person up, apologize for your anger, and express what is it that you had inside that you wanted them to know. I had to get to that point where so I had to, like, okay, hey, call him up and say, listen, I'm sorry of my outburst. I realize that I'm scared, and there are things inside of me that I do not understand how to express, but I want to get them out. And so I had to get to that point where I just get what I'm feeling out. But we didn't, many of us did not grow up learning to express ourselves. We grew up in homes where we did not have any say, and so we find it hard to have conversations and to communicate what we're feeling. But it's something that we have to learn to do. And so when you meet somebody, even know, if you are with somebody and you're finding yourself with the anger and the frustration, you gotta find a way to say, hey, don't attack, do not attack the person. Instead, let them know that, listen, I've been feeling, start from a feeling perspective. Let them know how you're feeling, because so many times we can save this anger, we can say, no, we can save relationships, and we can save our relationships if we only learn how to communicate with each other. But that's the problem, when we don't know how to communicate, because we never learned it growing up. We grew up in homes. Some of us grew up in homes where our parents, and well, my mother, is like, you can't talk. If you can't talk back, you can't, you see it as disrespectful, and you grew up hearing them curse you instead of having a real conversation. So now the cycle repeats. So that's why I said you have to go back and look in your childhood for all the issues that you would have faced, because many times you're taking them into relationships, and that is what is causing all the destruction. And so we blame each other. Men blame women, and women blame men for relationship issues, but many times we all have those issues that we never handled in childhood. All right. So guys, let me just look to see. Sorry, I ignored you. I just wanted to get a little bit of what I had inside out without responding at the time. So now I'm going to respond. So Nikki Felix said, love yourself, it takes guts. Cause you give in love and don't realize you're not receiving back, put you in a place where you ask yourself, why is it easy for me to give love, and why, and hold on, why I am not receiving back. I am not worth receiving love, and that moment is when you wake up and start growing strength. I love your convo. Be safe and stay strong, boo. Good, God got you. There's so much you said in what you just said there, Nikki Felix. The thing is that sometimes we think that we're giving love, but we're not really giving love, because we seeing it from the other person's eyes. Have you ever been with someone and they are all in their feelings and you're not quite there yet? So the thing is, it's not that sometimes you're thinking that we're thinking that we're giving love, but it's not healthy the way we go about doing it. Because if you really and truly love yourself, it wouldn't really happen that way. And sometimes too, you're giving love, but you're giving love to the wrong person, and that is why it's so important to really know yourself and what you want, so that you don't waste your time with the wrong person, so that you don't waste your time giving to your pearls to swines. You dust off, dust that thing off of your feet, and just move on. The Bible tells you, I can't remember the exact words that were used in the Bible, but do not give your pearls to swines, and do not, and dust your feet off. If you go to them and they do not receive you, you dust off your feet and you move on. So you have to, sometimes it is that we're not giving love in a healthy way, because sometimes we are going too fast for the other person, and the person can't take all of that emotions at once. So that's the thing, they can't take all of the emotions at once, so you have to slow down. And in order for you to really reach to the point of slowing down, you have to really mature, and it's a slow process, but it's doable. If I achieved it, then you have to. I got to the point where I'm like, hey, you're going too fast. Slow down, you're going too fast. Now, if you can imagine, if I reach to the point where I am the one saying you're going too fast, you could imagine how far I've come, because I never was able to say you're going too fast. I'll just go along with you because I'm thinking that you hold all the cards. But now I know to tell you, slow down. You're going too fast. Right? Bernice Pope say, oh my God, this is exactly what happened to me. So sometimes the things happen and you can't really put it into words, and it took me a real long time to get here. Yes, Ronald Henry says, You really have to learn to love yourself first. Only when you have mastered loving yourself, you can truly love and have a meaningful relationship. This is so true. You can be in a relationship for years and never truly experience love because it was developed properly. And so that is why I'm saying that even if you're in a relationship right now, there is hope. Sometimes we expect the other person to be everything for us, but we have to learn to be our separate individuals, while at the same time share allowing the other person to be an individual too, and then you share from that way. When you do that, it's healthy. But when you're wanting to share every single moment of another person's life and not giving them breathing space and all of that and demanding and all of that, that's when it becomes unhealthy. So that's what I'm saying, that sometimes giving love is too much, because the love that we're thinking we're giving is not really love. It's that we're operating from a place of desperation and lack of self-love. That's the whole thing. Renee says yes, slowing down is really important. You gotta learn to slow down. So I'm gonna go up now. I see Robbie. Let me see what Robbie said here. Robbie said that's why we are friends. Positive energy attract. It's called the law of attraction, and it's working every day. Stay blessed, my beautiful sister. I have my belief in terms of the law of attraction, because the thing is it, but it's not, and like you say, the Bible tells you that your thoughts, it didn't say it in the words that I'm saying, but I get this from the essence, because your thoughts, where your heart is and where your thoughts are, it will direct your actions. So you have to be so careful about, where your thoughts are. And that's another thing, because sometimes and you see, when we operate from a place of fear and lack of self-esteem, our fear is okay, that so the person is gonna leave us. They're gonna leave because we're thinking, okay, we're not worthy enough of them, and so they're gonna leave. And so your thoughts are attracting the negative things that are happening in your life. But if you look at your thoughts, and you concentrate on the positive and don't think so much about what could happen in these terms of the negative, but just allow yourself to be in the moment and be present, and to tell yourself that you deserve what is happening now, without all these thoughts about what if that person is lying, and thinking about, okay, should I go look for them to see where they at and what they're doing? Should I go in their phones and search for what is happening, and see if they're being unfaithful, and these kind of things? So these things. So it is in terms of the law of attraction, in the sense that your thoughts, they do not just stay inside your head. Your thoughts, your thoughts are communicated through your actions, and your thoughts, they decide how you behave. And so whatever is inside will come out in one way or the other. They are not contained in your head. So negative thoughts in your head are gonna come out. So the Bible says, by your fruits you shall be known. So whatever is inside will come out. So what if your thoughts are negative and destructive, and lack of love, and lack of this self-worth, it's gonna show, it's gonna come out, it's gonna destroy relationships, it's gonna push people further away from you. But imagine where you're receptive, and you're calm, and you're collected, and you know what you want, and you're full enough confidence in what you want. That's what's gonna come out. That's what's gonna come out. Vonnie's folks say you are doing it great. You are doing great. Do be proud of you, and as you said, get to know yourself. Thank you, Vernice, for that. I appreciate. Nikki Felix said facts. Ronette Henry says so true. Robbie Benjamin said real talk. Hendrickson, good morning. How are you doing? Robbie said amen, my sister. Let me go up see what else people said. Bonnie Rope said, Bino says, I love your transparency. There's nothing to hide, Vernice. When you reach to this point, you know that you think, because there's nothing to hide. Because the thing is, when we've gone through something, we have to let other people, we have to get it all, share our experiences, in a way that we can help someone else figure things out in their lives. Charmin Foster Peters said, "Good morning. Hope you are having a blessed day." Yes, I am having a blessed day there. Thank you. Ulrich Cutler said, "Good morning. Good morning, Ulrich. How are you doing?" Let me see who else is on here. Who else said something that I need to respond to? Lancelot Olivier said, "Hi, how is everything with you?" I am fine, thank you, Lancelot. Yes, guys. So, yes, sometimes the lack of trust, and the lack of trust starts when with you, because when you see, I believe that trust starts with us. And so it starts with us. But when we have all of these negative feelings inside and these distrustful feelings, we can't trust anyone else. So it starts with us giving people a limit. To me, I think trust is earned, right? But you have to initiate some level of trust in the beginning, in any situation, right? And then as you get to know the person, then you allow yourself to trust more, based on how the person is responding and treating you. So you have to, the paranoia comes because of the lack of self-worth and the lack of confidence. All of that, the paranoia and the whole thing, it starts because of what we are thinking inside, and how we are feeling inside. I went through a period of that, and I had to work on it. I'm like, okay, Ophelia, stop thinking about, this self-sabotaging thing. And then sometimes something going good, and then you say, okay, this is not gonna last. It's going good. Why you thinking it's not gonna last? And it's going good, and so it's not gonna, it's going good. And you're thinking that it's not gonna last, and so instead of just looking at what's going good, you start thinking about all the negative things that can happen, and then you're blaming the other person for your negative thoughts. It's crazy, but I've done it. I've done it. You're blaming the other person for the negative thoughts that you're having, and it's crazy. So these are the things that we have to work on. And it happens because, okay, somebody somewhere along the line would have caused us this level of distrust, somebody somewhere. But what do? Do you continue? That's why I'm saying that healing is from a healthy place. You can't say you heal if you're not able to trust, if you're not able to be open, if you're not able to allow others in. You cannot say that you've healed. Some of us, we put up blocks, and when people hurt us, we put up blocks, and we guard ourselves to the point that we will enter into relationships without the feelings, and so it will just be all about the physical aspect, and so we are like robots. But when we do that, we are hurting ourselves and we are hurting other people. So we have to learn to find a way to be vulnerable again, because there's always a risk in everything, right? There's always a risk. But to limit this risk, you really need to get back to self-love, loving yourself, knowing what you're all about, knowing what you represent, knowing where you're going, so that you don't find yourself getting involved with people who are not compatible with you. And compatibility is very important. If you are a person who likes to save money, and then you see, so you met someone and you see that they like to lavish their money, they don't know how to save, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna say, okay, let me try and change this person, and say, nah, this might not work? So you have, this is a red flag, because you know how much saving mean to you, and then you're putting up yourself with somebody who likes to spend a lot of money. That's crazy, yeah? And you're thinking that the love will conquer all, but at the end of the day, when you check around and you look and see how many relationships are mashing up because of finances, then you're gonna understand that, okay, you're healthy with your finances. You need somebody who has the same kind of compatibility. When you look at your level of reasoning, are you gonna put yourself with somebody who cannot reason on your level? Some people might argue with me, but I say that you have to be mindful, because sometimes people, and I see it happening, and this is one of the reasons why I always think, okay, I'm not gonna bother myself getting married and all of these things, because why is divorce happening? And we see this happening because sometimes we just decide that we're gonna settle. So I am good at intellectually, I'm good at reason. This person cannot reason to save their life, and yet you go. What happens when you have a conflict? What happens when you have a conflict? This person cannot reason, yet you marry them, and so you are in conflict now. But you're expecting them to reason with you. So these are the mistakes we make sometimes. In terms of compatibility, because the thing what I realize, okay, everybody, I grew up hearing this fairy tale thing: fall in love, get married, fall in love, get married. But love alone, for me, when I look at all and see what's happening with marriages, love alone cannot work in a marriage. Compatibility conks. I've seen it so many times. Compatibility. Compatibility. Look on true crime stories. There's a woman who met this man, and the man was, I think the man was working as what was he, a contractor, I think, which is not really, I think he was a driver or something like that. And there's no problem, the driver, but what's the mentality of this person? And then she's like a scholar basically, and so she's about to graduate with her master's degree, and he killed her. He killed her because of jealousy. So the thing is, not everybody can handle one person progressing in the relationship. So my thing is, when you're looking, for me, and again, everybody say, oh, you're single, you're giving relationship advice, but I'm looking at what is happening in long-term relationships, and I have sense enough to pick this thing out of nonsense. The thing is, if when you're looking, look for progress, look for potential. That's why I took my time. I'm 42 and just thinking, okay, maybe I have a long shot here now. But the thing is, look for potential and somebody who is willing to grow, because ain't no relationship is gonna stay stagnant. If one person is growing and the other is not, somebody's gonna leave. Somebody's gonna leave that relationship. So it's important, and to get back to basics, when you're meeting somebody, you're finding out what are their dreams, what are their goals, what are their aspirations. So when they tell you, okay, I just want to be a hair a hairdresser for the rest of my life. There's nothing wrong in being a hairdresser, but they're not saying, okay, I want to own my own hairdressing place. I just want to work with somebody. And then if you know that being independent and getting somebody upscale is important to you, then you decide, do you want to be with somebody who's just gonna want to settle at the lower, or you want somebody who has more ambition? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say being a hairdresser is a wrong thing, because I love it and I wish I could have get into the business. That's me, because I still, you see, I do my own hair. So it's not all about the paper and the certificate. It's about looking at how that person is willing to grow. So you must ask their dreams. What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? What are your goals for the future? And that will reveal a lot as to whether or not that person could be compatible with you. But we don't do that. We're all in our feelings. I was like that, all in my feelings, just face value. It's all about love, the kind of love that you hear your fairy tales talking about. Oh, you meet somebody, and you just fall in love, and bam, everything works out. It happens same way for men and women. So I'm not, I've had men who complain, okay, this is a woman I'm with, he's ambitious, she's not, and then he has problems. Why? Because he chose her at where he was at, where she was at, without really finding out where she was or where she intended to go. So we need to look at the ambition part of it, and of course push each other. So it shouldn't be a selfish thing, pushing each other, working together to achieve those goals. But you can't force somebody to move if they don't want to move. So that's why it's important to find out about compatibility. Anyway, guys, I have said enough this morning, but I just wanted to encourage someone. I don't know what you're going through. Maybe it's not relationship wise, maybe it's employment wise, maybe it's social issue, whatever is going on. But I'm saying that there is hope sometimes when the situations are beyond our ability to handle them. It means it's time to let go. It means it's time to let go and start looking inward and reflecting on where we're at and what we need to do to move forward, because every decision that we make has an impact on where on our future, and the future of others at stake. For me, it's my children, and for you, I don't know who it is, but every decision we make have some kind of impact, whether it's positive or negative. And some decisions you will have positives and negatives, but which one is dominant, because I mean, there's no perfect decision. There's always a risk that you're taking, a risk that is not gonna work out. And but the thing is, don't lie in it and just lie down and give up and be a victim of your situation. You still got to push forward, and imagine that your life is like the weather. You get up this morning and you saw a whole heap of clouds, but by the time afternoon came, that the clouds started moving, and then you're seeing a beautiful sky. So imagine your life like that. And this should give you some sort of hope, because you know that the weather does not change. It's just like us, the seasons. We have seasons. There's a time for everything under the sun. Right now, you may be in pain, you may be feeling hopeless, but I'm telling you, there is hope. The thing is, where you have to learn to figure out where is it that your trust lies. For me, my trust lies in the Creator, in the Almighty God. That's where my trust lies. So I know that He never fails, and sometimes even when I'm not hearing from Him, He's still busy working things out for me. I've seen it. There are times, 3 years I stayed home without a job, 3 years, and I asked God, I say, why did you allow me to do a degree in nursing, education, and then you had me home for, and you have me here for 3 years. I asked God that. I said, why you have me here? I am like, I can't believe that you made me waste so much money. That's a question that I asked. But God was working things out for me, and His timing is different. His timing is so different. So when you're ready, He's like, okay, you're not really ready yet for this job. You're not ready for what you're asking for. You're not ready for the relationship that you're asking for. You're not ready. You're not there yet. You need to go find some time and to learn patience and to learn to love yourself. That's what God probably was saying to me. You need to. You're not ready yet. You're just not ready yet. So right now you should be figuring out if it's not working yet. Are you ready yet? Maybe you're focusing on the wrong things. Are you really ready for what you're asking for? So maybe this is the time for you to just relax and just take one day at a time, and don't see it as hopeless, but seeing that, okay, things are happening underneath, things are happening behind the scene for me. I'm just not ready yet for that gift. When you are ready, trust me, it will happen. When you are ready, it will happen. Whatever it is that you are wanting to happen, where only when you are ready. Who decides when you're ready? Not you. You don't have that thing. You just need to work on yourself. When you're ready, everything falls into place at the right time. That's just my thinking, that things fall into place at the right time, and every single experience is taking you a step further in that direction, but only if you do not give up. Only if you do not give up. Can't give up. Can't be. You gotta get some stamina. That's what life is about. Stamina. You gotta have stamina. You have to have faith to believe that it will happen, but only in the right time, when you are ready. All right, guys, so thank you very much for viewing. Everybody who has viewed, feel free to share the video, share it to somebody. Maybe you might bless someone by letting them hear this. And of course, thanks for the comments and everything. And going forward, I pray that all is well with you and your family. Keep prayed up, understand the times, understand what is happening right now, because there are things happening underneath the scene with this coronavirus that we need to pay attention to. Many of us are not aware of what's happening underneath the scene, so we really have to pay attention. And even for me, I've been like listening and reading Revelation because I want to understand the times that we are living in right now, and so that I am prepared emotionally, spiritually, mentally for what is to come. But so don't get lost in your feelings. Just observe things, be present. Today you have today. So if it's painful to look into the future, bring yourself back to the present. You feel anxious when you look back or when you look too much into the future. So you want to be present. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is all. This moment is all you have. You don't even know if you're gonna live to see tomorrow. This is the moment you have. This is all that you have right now. So this is the moment that you should be focusing on, not looking about okay what's gonna happen next year, next month. Just refocus. If it's too painful to look forward, refocus. Guys, you're just coming in, but I'm just gonna leave you on that note. Have a blessed day. Thanks for viewing and have a blessed week as well. Bye.